my coffee cups ready now.
Oh, I just got dinged. Who's dinging me? Oh. You can manage your stream from your cell phone. Oh, yes. Alrighty.
All right, what's up?
What up? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through this whole bowl of Alfredo. It's
It looks tough. It looks like a tough customer.
It's worth though. Oh man, I'm gonna be eating
Yeah.
for two. I'm gonna be either eating for 2 days or not eating for 2 days.
Eating for 2 days and then not eating for 2 days.
Even more, even better. Oh man, that sounds terrible.
The whole cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
I eat because I'm hungry, and I'm hungry because I eat.
Uh-huh.
So they say.
Oh, apparently Psychonauts you go inside of a whale. I was only able to think of 3 games where you go inside of a whale. Apparently there's a couple.
I've actually never played Psychonauts, but the only other one that I can think of is Kingdom Hearts, where you have to go in the inside of the whale.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Did I just blow your mind right now?
I cannot believe that I was unable to think of that.
It was a stupid level though. I hated that level.
But that's the point. That is my entire point, is that they are all stupid levels. And that one is stupid. And that's the next segment. All whale levels are stupid. Yeah. I can't, because that's exactly the kind of level I'm talking about. And I can't believe I couldn't think of it earlier today. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Dude. Yeah, that level sucked so bad. That was like up days wondering how to get the fuck out of that whale. Because game FAQs wasn't helping.
It was because you couldn't tell even where you were, because every room looked the same with a random assortment of, and because it was in 3D, game facts would say like, you know, go through the north door, and in the next room go through the south door, and
motherfucker,
and you had no idea where the fuck anything was. Yeah, terrible. Awful time. I collected all 99 Dalmatians, 101 Dalmatians. However many Dalmatians, I collected them all and then erased my save by accident.
That sounds devastating.
I was very upset.
I thought I did that with my Death Stranding save the other day.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
I almost pitched a fit. That was like 101 hours of gameplay I could have potentially lost. That would not have been a good time. That would have.
Damn.
Yeah. But then I also realized that maybe I have a slight addiction to this game, and truly made
should I start it? I should play it again probably.
Dude, go for the hard mode if you haven't played it yet.
There are so many games I should play, haven't played, want to play. And I don't even want to play any of them. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, dude? I'm kind of in that same space where it's like I wake up to do a stream and I'm like, okay, what am I playing today? And I'm like, I don't want to play any of this. You know, I don't know.
I've been trying a lot of. I think with me, open world games have just automatically worked in the past, and now and ever since Elden Ring, I've been trying out open world games, and I've just been like, okay.
Jeez.
I don't know. I guess I'm sick of a genre that has always just done it for me, and now I'm kind of like, okay. I guess I'm just gonna play Elden Ring.
It's Elden Ring
If
o'clock.
if this is how it must be.
So it is written, so shall it be done. I still need to actually play Dark Souls, like the original 1, 2, like the entire lot. Bloodborne. I frankly suck at those games. I'm terrible.
I would
Yeah.
love to get a Dark Souls 1 gang squad going on around here. I feel like I would probably have to get my PlayStation Plus or whatever. But I don't know. Well, but because here's the thing, I have another friend
Yeah.
who I feel like yeah, it wouldn't work because he's got a Switch and an Xbox and you've got a PlayStation and I've got a PlayStation and a Switch. It just the three things will do not align.
Well, I mean, I have a Switch. I just lost my power cord, which I don't know how I did that. Like,
Oh man, if we could all get it on the Switch, we could all throw down. I think Dark Souls 1 really has a perennial magic, especially if and I think that like part of what got me to even play it at all was playing the several hours of the game with two friends and just screaming at each other and dying. I mean, I honestly don't know if what I'm describing is going to be fun. The problems with the multiplayer are so prevalent in the first one.
really that bad?
And there's so much grinding in the beginning of the first one, but I don't know. I feel like there is a certain magic to Dark Souls 1. But the multiplayer is so annoying in all of those games. And obviously it began with Dark Souls 1, so like any problems that got ironed out. I don't know if you've heard me say no fingers, no soap, and no bells of any type, please. But that refers to Dark Souls and all of its ilk and all of its bad multiplayer systems where you need to have a finger or a bar of soap in order to multiplay. And it's usually limited. That's part of the problem.
And a bar of soap.
Especially, well, you need a soapstone in Dark Souls 1, and I don't know what you need, and I don't know what Dark Souls 2 is like. I played the single player and got invaded once or twice, so I don't know anything about. I don't think I did any co-op in Dark Souls 2. I played it mostly to myself.
Yeah, Uh-oh. Discord, what are
you
you doing
having...
to me? Oh, I was like...
Oh, what's that? Oh.
Discord acting
Is it
funny.
Did you get the robot noises?
No, it was there, then disappeared, and I think I clicked on something, and it just did that. I don't fucking know. But either way, I was gonna say it's game time. You ready to roll?
Oh yeah.
All right, I guess we will cue the music. Alrighty. Howdy, gang. Welcome, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Woohoo. It is here.
Tuesday it is.
We are amongst the Tuesday. But, yeah, welcome to Thought That Was Weird. I'm, of course, Thrash K-Shoe, and of course, to my right is my dear friend, Mr. CuyaDK.
Today I am Koya Too Much Coffee DK. I've just been...
You're just gonna turn into Fry in a second, just like you're gonna jitter.
Yeah.
Come. I love that episode of Futurama. That was a good Futurama. That was a good season of Futurama.
I am barely familiar. I think I've seen the last episode. I saw the episode about the Slurm. I told you that. Yes, I've seen the Slurm episode and the Poplars. Slurm and Poplars and the final episode. I've seen those three.
Oh my god, Slurm's Mackenzie is like one of my favorites. he's just so tired of partying, but then he uses his partying technique to capture the queen. Oh man, so funny. What a phenomenal show. What was I gonna say? Another thing that we had discussed, and I think that we should make that part of. If you happen to be free this weekend, that this should be part of our weekend. You told me that you've never seen Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Right. Yes. I've not. Yeah. You know
And
what I've seen?
what have you seen?
Does the name Blast Hard Cheese mean anything to you?
No, I don't believe so.
How about Big McLarge Beef?
I feel like you're just listing off screen names of people in your chat or something. No, who are those?
You don't know Big McLarge Huge?
Big McLarge Huge? No.
Now
I gotta look this
I'm
up.
gonna send you a link. I want you to watch this link, okay?
Okay.
You gotta. I'm sorry to derail us right away. But this is relevant. This is the only thing I've ever seen from Mystery Science Theater 3000. Please play the audio on your stream. It's up to you. I'm playing it right now.
All right. Let's see.
Ridge Large Meat.
Tell me, Dave.
Slab bulkhead.
Slab
Bridge,
bulkhead.
large meat. Punch, speed chunk.
Butch deadlift. Bold big flank.
Splint, chest hair.
Blast Hard Cheese,
Flint,
yes.
iron stag.
Bolt Vanderhuge.
Bolt
Thick
Vander
and
Huge.
We put our faith in blast hard cheese.
Buff drink lots.
Buff drink lots. Dude, these guys are phenomenal. I love Mystery Science Theater. So my friends and I, we used to love watching a particular part of the series called it was a movie called The Touch of Satan that they covered, and there was this bit where this guy is like sitting there eating his lunch next to a pond, and this woman just randomly comes up to him and starts just BSing with him, and there's just these really awkward pauses in the dialogue to where she asks, "So where are you from?" and he goes, "Oh, I'm from here," and then there's this long pause, and they're looking out at this lake, and she goes, "This is where the fish lives." Like the movie, like Mike, Tom Servo, and Crow just all started laughing. There was some beauty to how horrible these movies are.
What's the name of the movie?
The Touch of Satan.
This is where the fish lives?
This is where she looks at the water and goes, "This is where the fish lives." And they had a joke where as the couple was walking away from the lake, one of them does this like fake effeminate voice and goes, "Goodbye, fish." Like it's something to be seen rather than heard, but like that's like one of my favorite Mystery Science Theater bits. And that movie is probably one of my favorite riffs of any of those films that they do. But yeah, overall, just phenomenally written, amazing stuff. I'm all about it. That's the whiteboard. Okay.
Yeah, I want to see what. I'm gonna see what's going on this weekend because I want to. There's a couple things I'm supposed to watch with a few people, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's
right. But let's do a couple of them.
Deal.
I might have. People might be here Saturday night, but I don't know when, so I might be doing stuff on Discord, like with you guys, Saturday afternoon. But I might be around Sunday afternoon into the evening, and we might do things both those times. So
all right, very cool. And
let's see what happens. But I'm gonna have some free time, so we'll figure. Yeah. Yes.
Sounds good. But we still got
Let's
another 2 hours to cover in Game Seto Machu Picchu.
Okay, yeah, sure. I want to see that also.
We'll clear that up too. Again, like what we saw, so like that we got halfway through that series, and it doesn't get any better, dude. I don't know what to tell you. It gets better.
Did we watch 4 hours of it?
We watched 2 hours of it. It's a 4 hour long series. So we watched 2 hours.
Okay.
No, thankfully it's not an 8 hour long series. Oh my god, I would have felt terrible if it was an 8 hour long series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long one, but that series is freaking ridiculous. Yeah, we'll do that sometime this week, and I think that'd be
Yeah, let's do
fun.
it. Yeah. I got a couple things. Maybe we'll look at Kindred the Embraced.
Kindred. Oh,
That's
is
the
that?
vampire show.
Yes. You were telling me about that. But man, this TV. You know what? I don't know what's been going on
How's it
with.
doing?
I don't know. It's not doing. It just blacked out. I don't know. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But you know what? Like, hold on. Like,
Looks old.
it
Looks
it,
like
it,
an old
it
TV.
is fairly old. You know, it's withstood the test of time. Like, you know, it still had a clear picture. Like, I could connect my PlayStation to it. It's been working pretty well for a long while, and I don't know. But like, you know, again, it wasn't exactly the it isn't the peak of technological design, but you know, it worked fairly well. And that's something that actually has to do with today's topic. We're going to be talking about the production and marketing failures of modern day products,
Okay, cool.
specifically within the collection of a place called the Museum of Failures, which is
Okay.
which is a and you know what? Actually, you know what? How about this? You know, we'll just take a quick walk to well, they're doing a whole big pop-up campaign in the middle of Brooklyn, and they're having the collection
Right
shown
now?
there. Yeah, as of right now. So yeah, if you want, we'll just walk on over. Yeah,
Let's
hold on.
zip on over. Okay, we're
Yeah,
leave the TV behind. No
I,
TV today, or
we'll leave the TV behind, and we'll figure out something while we're there because I'm sure that you know if we tell them that we're streaming, you know, from their site that they could offer us something good in replacement. So yeah, let's zip to the Museum of Failures, which is really just a big.
wow.
It's not really the Museum of Failures, but it felt museumy, you know, like
I
because
see where the echo came from.
I just really I just bellowed my voice there, but yes, that's probably where the echoes came from.
Very, the volumetrics of this space, the acoustics, I'm sure, are very, the reverberations of. I don't know anything about sound waves.
You know, it's a fairly long hallway. It's got a lot of space before it hits anything else and bounces off of. So the means for sound to really travel in this place is it's yeah, it's pretty impressive. And actually, like thankfully, I actually just got word that we today were offered a piece of their collection to use for our episode today. And again, and mind you, I really don't have any connection with the Museum of Failures or Dr. West. But yeah, they were
Who's
kind of.
Dr. West?
We will discuss that
Herbert
soon enough.
West?
Dr.
Okay.
Samuel West. But Dr.
Samuel West, that's not one I'm familiar with.
Yeah, not many people are. That's why I felt the need to kind of talk about this today. So, again, we will be doing today's episode on an HP touchpad.
Oh, wow. Whoa, look, it's even loading.
Oh, fuck.
It's got to update first.
God.
I don't know what you expected. It just,
No.
like, yeah.
I really don't. When you know you come to the Museum of Failures and you're expecting to have like something, you know, you would think that at least like one of these things worked for a little bit. Like I didn't realize that this was just awful. I mean, look at that. It hasn't even ticked the 2% yet.
This is part of the exhibit. This is the meta exhibit that we're participating in.
Oh shit. Well, you know what? You know what? I think we really, we talk about, technological advancements and things like that, but I gotta give it up to the classic, man.
Yeah, you're gonna pull out a Game Boy? Oh, you're gonna pull out the top. Look at that.
You know what, man? I think it got I think it was just jealous that we were trying to find other technological advances, and it considered itself a failure. And reality is, it's not a failure. It just has its moments, and that's okay.
That room wasn't that big after all, either.
No, it wasn't. Perspectives for suckers, anyway. But anyway, so yeah. Today we'll be talking about the Museum of Failure, which is currently residing in Brooklyn, New York. And it is a collection of failed major corporation products. Oh God, what does it mean when you collect things for an art museum? It's I forget the word. Curate. Yes, it's curated. Thank you. It was curated by a psychologist, Dr. Samuel West, who is a Swedish psychologist. Originally, this museum was a standalone museum in Sweden, and it wasn't until probably within the past like about 8 years or so that the museum started doing like little pop-ups from there was a big LA pop-up where they had all their stuff on display, and as of right now they're in Brooklyn. And the reason I ended up finding out about this was I ended up running across this interview that Dr. Samuel West was participating in with New York's own PIX11, where Dr. West basically explained the collection was curated over some period of time, and that he had to, quote, pay cash in alleyways sometimes to obtain some items. Which, when you look at these items,
PIX11?
PIX11.
That is some sort of journalistic entity?
That is a news station in New York City, New York. Most famous.
Oh my God!
Yeah, yes.
I forgot that.
Yeah, most famously known.
I forgot what call letters were. I was like, is that some blogger's name? Like Elon Musk's kid? Does he have math for a name?
He doesn't have math for a name.
No one's mentioned call letters to me in 5 years.
I don't know, because again, there's no real, like, who watches local news anymore? It's all national news, like the local news.
And we're doomed, and
yeah,
we're just doomed.
But PIX11 is a news station in New York City. I probably should elaborate on that. And that particular station is most notable for
some blogger.
Some blogger. It's most.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought you were saying.
It was notable for having the. Are you familiar with the Saturday Night Live sketch where Bill Hader plays a really old reporter who's like ornery with the people he's interviewing and hits them with the microphone?
It sounds familiar.
Well, that was basically the bit. It was actually derived from a real interaction between a fairly old veteran news reporter and somebody reporting about major problems within a particular apartment building. And it's like, he asked like a simple question. So how long has this been going on? And she's like, oh, it's been, such and such amount of years. And he goes, well, there you have it. Back to you in the studio. The main anchor behind the desk is like, what are you doing? No, go, Herb, turn around and keep asking your questions. That's not everything that's happening. Like, come on, like, dig for facts. And he gets ornery and pissed off. I'll send it to you afterwards, but
okay.
But yeah, that station is very well known for that.
When Bill Hader is very excited about chopped up bodies.
I love that bit.
Like the story of the chopped up guy or something.
The story of the chopped up dead guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like that a lot.
Were you mad when you killed him? Yeah, I was pretty mad. I can't do that for too long.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But Yeah, I love that bit too.
That guy is very funny.
Bill, I know we keep going off topic. Barry, fantastic show. Go watch Barry.
I've seen a little bit of it. I haven't seen all of it.
It's so good. It's fucking
You ever
hilarious.
see Hot Rod?
I actually have not, but I know that's like one of his big breakouts. It was that and Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
But anyway,
was he in? Oh.
No, yeah, he was in Tropic Thunder. He was the assistant to Tom Cruise. The welcome to the goodie room.
Oh,
guy.
okay. Okay.
Not very noticeable, right? Because he had his he has a way he does his hair, and like when he does it differently, it like completely changes his whole face, and I think he's a different actor.
I'm thinking of some movie where he's on like the phone all the time. Like you always see him because he's on like an iPad. Like his face is. They're always FaceTiming with him.
Oh,
and maybe he's trying to like. Maybe he's trying to get his dick sucked. Is that what that is?
Where the guy's fiance was like talking to the microphone and like no, go a little bit further away, and it looked like she was giving him a head. Yeah, that whole bit was funny.
That's Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
I think that was Forgetting Sarah Marshall, if I remember correctly. But
when he's playing the piano and screaming at himself about how he has to go to the psychiatrist is that's real shit.
I thought I think it was that movie. It might be a different movie where a really sad guy plays piano and tries to forget about a woman.
No. I'm sure it's this one. Peter, you suck.
Oh god, now I gotta look it up too, because
I'm gonna send you the link, obviously.
Paul Rudd, Jonah Hill, Jason Segel, Bill Hader. Yep, that was right.
Oh, I did it wrong.
Yeah, I believe it was Bill Hader who played his friend, who had a wife that he was making accidentally do improper gestures. But hey, TV1K. Gee, man, what's up?
What's up, T1BK?
How did I say? Why do I keep saying K? It's G. I don't know. Because it's right next to the G, and I'm trying to, well, whoever people are, but I don't know how to do acronyms. What are acronyms? Well, what's up, bud? Good to see you. The K is silent.
The K is silent, yeah.
Yes. It might be Burger King has just been ingrained in my brain. But yeah, welcome. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. So, but anyway, going back to the topic of the Museum of Failures.
Yeah.
But so again, Dr. Samuel West, the Swedish psychologist, curated this whole museum together and is currently in Brooklyn, New York. In an interview with the Washington Post, he stated probably the biggest portion of the mission statement for this museum, and that is, quote, "We know that 80 to 90% of innovation projects fail, and you never read about them. If there's anything we can do from these failures, it is to learn from them," which I full-heartedly agree, because like we can't, like, I can't even begin to fathom the amount of infomercial products that I used to see at like 1 o'clock in the morning that I'm like, oh, that might be a good idea, and then in practical uses it's not usable. There's no use for it.
Actual just garbage.
Mm-hmm. Like what is it? The pee-pee putter, I think it was called. It was like a golf club.
Is that it?
That was the thing. It was an infomercial at late night. It was a golf club. There was a fake plastic golf club that had a little tube at the handle of the golf club, and at the end was a cap. You take the cap off, you put your willy into it, and then you pee in it. And it had like a little towel that kind of draped over top of it, so it looked like, quote unquote, you were cleaning your golf club.
Wait, what? So like in public, you would pee into it?
If you were on the golf, this was apparently created by a urologist on a golf course
For old golfing men.
for old golfing men who just like squirt
Oh,
some.
come on. No, come on.
This is real.
All right, this is what today is? Terrible products that you could piss in? Cinco products? Let's do it.
It's some freaking Tim and Eric shit for sure.
By the way, to both to Thrash and T1BG, I was just talking to Thrash how we're going to be doing some various medias in Discord this weekend.
You would be pristine to have for that for sure.
And one of the things definitely, which Thrash I want you to take a look at, is going to be Infinity Pool, the Brandon Cronenberg movie, and we might even also look at Crimes of the Future, the David Cronenberg movie. There might be some Cronenberg things. There's a lot of things I want to watch this weekend, so we're going to be... I'll let you know...
How many Cronenbergs
are there? There are 2 main Cronenbergs that are directing films currently, actively.
Calling all Cronenbergs.
Yes. And one of them's on Star Trek.
Don't forget to Cronin your berg this summer. But,
is that a Rick and Morty joke?
That was a terrible Rick and Morty joke, which, by the way...
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, that was a Rick and Morty reference to Michael Jensen.
I remember there being creatures referred to as Cronenbergs.
Well, they're referred to as Cronenbergian, I believe. And they might have been just known as Cronenbergs as a make fun, but I don't think they were actually called Cronenbergs, although that would be even better if that entire race of aliens was called Cronenbergs.
I think there's like in like the first season, I think there's an episode where like everyone in the town gets alien flu and turns inside out. Yeah, we're berging it up. And like I feel like I can picture like Morty being like, oh shit, there's a bunch of Cronenbergs coming over there. You know, or like, oh no, God, shoot these Cronenbergs so I can jump. Like I think they were just referring to all the inside out people as Cronenbergs.
I think they were probably that makes more than enough sense.
Depending on if I'm having people over and what's going on, maybe I'll host a movie on both nights. Or I don't know what time it'll be for you, T1. I'll DM you, T1BG. I'm sure that you have seen Infinity Pool, so I'll make sure I see it this weekend, and maybe you'll be there. But I'm going to talk to T1BG about Infinity Pool.
That sounds great.
And,
I've never heard of it, so I'm intrigued. That sounds like a good time.
I want to talk to everyone about Vampire the Masquerade, so we'll see, and we'll see how much. We'll see who is around for what, because obviously now I'm getting like, let's watch all of the TV this weekend. But obviously we'll see how much I'm awake and who's there and whatever. Anyway, sorry. Tell me about more things. Listen, I'm often out in public, as you know. Yeah. And when I'm in public, usually I have to pee or do something embarrassing. So do you have any other products you can sell me that will help me mask my biology and biological behavior while in public?
Yes, we have this big baby carriage that you can defecate into.
No way, for real?
No, it's not. No.
I'm getting. Okay, let's call the office, Thrash. Call the fucking.
This is going into the museum.
Don't say this on the internet. We gotta save that. Yeah, this is a great idea because I mean, it would be like the right height. You would just have to like kind of pull down. They have those really complicated ones that like open like grills. You could have like half of it could kind of open, and you would just kind of. I don't know if I would be able to poop standing. I don't know if a thin man would be able to.
You lean over and you look like you're checking your baby and tucking it in, but reality is you're opening up the lid, and then you just turn around to face people, and you just kind of let things go where they need to go, and I don't know. Maybe
I wouldn't be able to.
Maybe it has a bidet or something. I don't fucking know. That sounds.
Wow, that's luxury.
We're getting classy.
I wouldn't be able to poop like on the side of the road.
No,
I don't think I'd be able to pee in a golf club. I don't think I'd be on the golf course. That's what it was invented for taking on the golf course, so you could pee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So golfers can pee. Golfers can take pees.
Yes. And again, it was
What
just
else
like
you got?
there wasn't a lot of fluid that you could fill in there either. So probably one of the most notable, because this is such a fixture.
I was assuming that it was coming out the bottom. I was assuming the tip of the golf club was like in a bush, and the pee was just coming out the bottom of it.
That would probably be the wiser decision, but no, golfers should know they can pee anywhere.
Are they allowed to? Did we pass a law? Is there
free peeing? But like, what's funny?
Golfers, it's okay. Yeah.
I don't know. They're like, it's a million miles back to the clubhouse. My bladder can't handle it. I'm incontinent. What can a person do? Well, here's the pee-pee golfer. And there was also another like funny failed invention that I saw amongst these curated items. It was like the potty putter.
I love. Okay.
Have you ever heard of the potty putter? It's
That's not what you just described to me?
No, but that would have been a better name, but this came first,
The
I believe.
pee golfer is what you described?
I don't know what the name of the product was actually. I could be mixing them up because I didn't cover them for the episode because
But this is another toilet related golf and toilet crossover.
It's a putting
golf
green.
And urination meet once again.
Oh, not urination this time, bud.
Oh, no. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
boy.
not urination this time. No, you are sitting down. It's not the pee-pee golfer or whatever the fuck that I just said, but it's like a putting. It's like the potty putter or something like that. It's a
okay. So you can sit and poo and golf
and do a little, and it's a putting green that fits around your toilet like a toilet carpet or something like that. I forget what those things are called. I don't fucking know. But
weird. Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand why anyone has a carpet right there.
I don't understand why there are carpets.
Because your feet are cold in the morning.
And get some goddamn.
But there should not be carpeting. There should not be carpeting in the bathroom. I really don't think so. Yeah, it's very strange.
No. No.
I've been in two houses that have had carpeting in the bath, which is really.
That sounds vile.
I'm sure I've been in more than two houses with carpeting in the bathroom, but like I've been in a lot of houses because I've done construction work, so like and repairs, and like
right.
It might be so weird to me because I happen to know exactly how uncommon it is. Like I can think of two times that there was carpet in a bathroom, and I know that because I looked down and was like, "What the fuck?" That's so weird. Like actually, like installed in the bathroom. This is not a good. That's not a good idea.
No, shag
right there. Like I'm talking about a tub. Yes, I have seen it. I have seen a tub installed right next to shag carpeting. And like, how is this gonna? I mean, not even how is this gonna last? You're gonna breed biology, a swamp immediately. Like, was it the 70s? And how is it still here? I like the mysteries. One of the most mysterious and unearthly things I've ever seen was shag carpeting from the 70s in the year 2012 next to a bathtub. How did it happen? How was it still there? How was it still there? Some kind of incongruity in reality. Like when the pens roll uphill or whatever.
Add it to the list of failures. Oh, and another thing that I completely forgot to list about this museum that I think is fucking fantastic, and I think it's a good piece of catharsis for a lot of people because everybody, including myself on multitudes of occasions, everybody believes that failure is like the end all be all. Like everybody feels like they flubbed it. It's game over. There's nothing to do. There's this wall that they have where they have people write on little post-it notes their personal failures and they stick them to a wall of everybody else's. And good. I think there's something very sweet and uplifting about that.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, we're that's for general people. But as it pertains to products and major corporations, you're not you're due to some scrutiny, especially these two. For those
these guys
who are familiar. Well, I guess we'll start with Crystal Pepsi. So Pepsi's Crystal line was created in 1992, and the thing that really blew my mind and something that I kind of thought about myself because I was alive at the time, although very young, I read in an article pertaining to this situation. I think it was from Time Magazine. It stated that clear.
Pepsi.
I know, but the concept of clear products was like a massive craze in the early 90s because it displayed like the purity of the product through this like clear representation.
The purity of Pepsi.
It's like Danny DeVito on the floor covered in hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
it's gotta be pure. It's gotta be pure. But so the product was given to test markets across the entire United States, although mostly Western states. It was and kind of like in the deserty areas. They had a lot of Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and it was met with a lot of positive reviews. Pure Pepsi sounds like a sweet prog rock album.
Isn't that a Radiohead record? Didn't they put out Pure Pepsi right after OK Computer? In between Upset Rainbows or whatever the other one was.
Upset Rainbows is probably one of my favorite Radiohead records.
And Child A.
and here's the fucked up thing. We don't know what happens to child B or C or the other ones. No.
Is that
No.
That's not him. That's not the guy.
No. That what child? I believe it was like. God, what was it? I don't fucking know. Fucking Radiohead's weird, and I haven't listened to them in years, in all honesty. But again, it was Crystal Pepsi was met with a lot of real positive reviews, and it's within that the company Child A, Radiohead's favorite child. Yes, this is true. T1VG, you are absolutely right. But the product was released in December of 1992, and what's really interesting is that within that same year, like Palmolive, Soft Soap, and Rembrandt mouthwash all released their own concepts of like clear, colorless products, pure products, if you will.
Pure chemical detergent.
Exactly. And what blew my mind even more is that the Miller Brewing Company actually got in on this craze too, and I wasn't able to find a picture of it, but according to sources, Miller Brewing Company also, excuse me, Alfredo, the drink.
God damn it! I can't wait to eat 3 hot dogs.
But Miller Brewing Company made a Miller Clear. It's a clear beer.
No, I've never heard of that.
That is a real thing. That is an absolutely real thing.
How was it a sparkling water with alcohol? I bet it was sparkling water with vodka in it. I bet that's what it was.
It might as well have been that.
I bet that's what it was. Yeah, I bet it wasn't actually. Yeah, because they kind of throw the term like brewed, and I know that a lot of stuff is just sparkling water with vodka in it these days. I don't know.
Everything's White Claw.
Yeah. That may have been what it was. I mean, it'd be a lot of weird cocktail, wine cooler kind of stuff, and maybe not necessarily vodka, but some kind of spirit with juice or whatever was just
Oh yeah, I mean, Seagram's had their.
They would call it like malt beverage or whatever. That I don't know what the word malt meant.
Well, and we'll be discussing it. We'll actually be going back into malt beverages here in a second, but that's.
I guess I don't know what beer is.
What is beer?
I don't understand. Yeah, I think I just displayed my lack of understanding for what alcohol is, but I think a lot of it is just juice with alcohol in it. That's what my thesis came down to. From my understanding, alcohol is mostly juice with alcohol in it. There you go.
Exactly.
Professor Koya. Okay. Now that we've covered everything that I know about alcoholic beverages and clear malts clear malted brewed non-seltzer beers.
I like this concept of a little sitcom show where it's like young you as like Doogie Howser is just like Dr. Kuya, comma DK instead of like Doogie Howser MD. Done. Whole series.
It would be
there.
Corey Hogan DK. Yeah.
Nice. So as it pertained to Pepsi Clear, it didn't do well in the rest of the market. This is after, mind you, the release of New Coke, which we'll cover in a second. But New Coke, Coca-Cola had got hit heavy with the New Coke stuff. But the thing is that when Pepsi came out with this whole Crystal concept, Coke was like, "Fuck you, we're gonna completely undercut everything that you're doing, and we're gonna make Tab Clear." Do you remember the soda Tab?
Yeah, I know Tab. I've had some Tab.
I've had some Tab.
Yeah, I've had a Tab or two.
They released Tab Clear into the market the
Okay.
same
Sounds familiar.
time.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, they released it at the same time as Crystal Pepsi. And they basically, because Tab was like it was kind of like not to besmirch redheaded stepchildren, but it was the redheaded stepchild of the Coca-Cola line.
That and RC Cola.
Yeah, although I liked RC. RC was fantastic. But anyway, so they pull out the Tab Clear stuff, and it was mostly used as a campaign to say like, Tab's like sugar-free, caffeine-free, and it's good for you, and like they came up with all these like fake medical things, and so that way people would like misappropriate those, or not misappropriate, they would mistake Crystal Pepsi for Tab Clear. It was a big back and forth that just muddied the waters for the Crystal Pepsi, and it was around that point, the following year, they just ended up discontinuing it. I mean, it's had multiple, revamps and what have you, but it's still considered to be one of the worst marketing campaigns, along with New Coke. New Coke was released.
Yeah, I had some Crystal Pepsi in 2015, by the way.
Yeah, they did a re-release in Mexico.
Surge also. I had some fucking Surge at the same time.
It's not the same. Oh my god.
It wasn't the same?
The revamped Surge was not the same. I don't know what.
I feel like you're not the only person that said that to me. I feel like someone else said the same thing to me.
I don't know what they did with that fucking recipe.
The original recipe, the secret recipe, we'll never know.
It's like Surge versus New Surge, or Coke versus Coke Classic. So
do you remember a dude would like put a bunch of traps and like barbed wire in the hall and like a bunch of soapy water, and he'd put like a surge at the end of the hall, and he'd scream surge, and a bunch of people would come running down the hall slamming into each other and slicing their bodies open on the barbed wire and bouncing off of. Does this sound familiar to you?
No, I do not remember that ad campaign.
The original Surge advertising.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing. But it's just like, it is literally the premise of Battle Royale, except it's for a Surge can. Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh man. But New Coke was released in 1985. It was pretty much like an all-in move for the company, because they had just gotten a new director of marketing, and this guy loved rolling the dice.
What the fuck is going on? Sorry, I just.
Did you find the video?
Well, yes, but it doesn't matter, because why I'm laughing is because I've been I don't know if something's going wrong with the way that I copy and paste, but I looked over and realized that I pasted you the Brock McHard cheese video 3 times in a row. Like, I've been trying to paste other things to you.
Oh, dude.
All right, this one's actually the Surge commercial.
Dude, what in the absolute hell?
I don't know what's wrong with me or anything.
Oh man. Well, let's see if we can pop this out and I can play it on screen here. Damn it, Jedi Survivor, I don't care. All I do, because I really enjoyed that first game, but I don't care right now because there's Surge happening. God damn.
I feel like in one of these there was soapy water involved.
Like,
Look how extreme.
Well, I can't pop it out for everybody, but I'll just give it a explanation. What is this, like a game of hot lava for a can of Surge?
Yeah.
What in the sand?
Oh, is this one gonna? I feel like one was like. I feel like one was like. Oh, this one involves like a fire hose.
Dude, that was something. If you haven't watched any of the old Surge commercials, they're definitely worthwhile.
Fully loaded citrus soda with carbos. What the hell are carbos?
No fucking.
It was carbohydrates, but wow,
Yeah,
that was
carbos, bro.
That's what the commercial said. Carbos. I feel like there was one with like soapy floors in high school. Maybe not. I might have just been picturing that fire hose one.
You might have had your own Surge commercial that you like kind of invented for yourself. Like we all have, like everybody has a Vietnam or a Normandy. You have your Surge commercial.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, maybe the soapy high school hallway was in my mind all along.
Or maybe we are all just the soapy high school hallway. Whoa. But again, like,
what's up, Weebs?
How's it going, Weebs? So again, Coca-Cola was very all in for this new Coke movement. They completely scrapped the original recipe in order to get
They
this.
were like, "That's it. Here's the new Coke."
Because
no more old Coke.
And again, they were trying to compete with Pepsi to make like a sweeter cola, and yeah, again, it was just something to compete against Pepsi with. And New Coke tested very well in blind taste testings against Pepsi. It was very well received within the blind taste testings, but unfortunately, of course, as we all know, Coca-Cola ended up in some real shit for changing everything. And most
people
of the
didn't like it.
Nope, people were furious. There was a lot of diehard Coca-Cola fans that were thoroughly disappointed, and it's within that. They, through thousands of letters and we the people, after 3 months and millions of dollars in marketing, the company backtracked the campaign for New Coke and basically remarketed the old Coca-Cola recipe as Coca-Cola Classic. According to a Time magazine
which
article,
it is still called, right? Is it still called Coke Classic to this day?
I believe it still has like the little classic insignia thing.
Yeah, I think it's yeah.
So technically, yeah, it's still technically Coke Classic. And this is according to a Time magazine article that I read on the concept on a bunch of these. Apparently, you know who Peter Jennings is, right? The famous news anchor.
Sure, yeah.
Either way, Peter Jennings of ABC News ended up interrupting the broadcast of a soap opera in the middle of the day to announce that Coca-Cola was reviving the classic Coca-Cola recipe after the new batches of Coke came out. It was that big of a deal for people that a newscaster took it upon himself to yeah, to let everybody know that real Coke's coming back. But eventually the batches of new Coke that were still around were actually eventually rebranded and resold as Coke 2 until the product faded away to obscurity. Which I have no fucking clue what Coke 2 is at all.
Yeah, that sounds vaguely. I vaguely remember Coke 2. I mean, I feel like it was the end of the 80s and then just gone. There was
Yeah,
I feel like we probably wanted to forget about that.
It only lasted for like 3 months, which is phenomenal that it has withstood the minds of modern Americans like 40 plus years later. It's It's astounding. And again, it is the archetype of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, At least it pertains as it pertains to products. But of course, Coke really loves poo-pooing their failures instead of living up to them. Just as, I found it to be a massive failure to get rid of Surge to begin with, and then they changed the recipe. Like, fuck me, man. It's not even good anymore. It feels like there's I don't know. I loved like Jolt Cola and things like that. Those were my faves as a kid. And then Surge came along and it boasted all of the caffeine, all of the sugar that you wanted out of like Jolt Cola, but with the taste of like the mild taste of like Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow. And I thought it was fantastic. And whatever they did to it now is just horrible. So shame on you, Coca-Cola Company. Here's a waggy finger for you. So moving on through our lovely walk through the Museum of Failure, we'll be covering.
I don't think that Crystal Pepsi is still available after. I think that was like 2016 or 17. It might have even been earlier than that.
It was around 2015
when they did the 2015. Because because it was in gas stations around here.
Oh yeah,
it could be. You could. Let me. You know what? If you're curious, let me take a look at Amazon.
Let's see how.
Let's just see what it says.
What's up, Black?
Because I would like to order some. I'd like to order some Surge and some. It doesn't look like you can. They got a Crystal Pepsi T-shirt.
Canada never got a Crystal Pepsi. I didn't realize that. No,
okay.
Apparently Canada was got the short end of the stick on the Crystal Pepsi.
Did they get Surge? Oh wait, let me check. I bet Surge protectors. I think the internet and society have already forgotten Surge and Crystal Pepsi. I don't see Crystal Pepsi available at all.
Yeah.
Oh, it was back for January 2022. I don't see it. Ooh. Yeah, we were buying it 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. I don't see. Whoa, Pussy natural energy drink? What?
You say pussy? Pussy?
Yeah. Pussy, like a pussy cat. For some reason there's
these drinks, man.
Yeah, there's a warning about UTI on the page for Pussy energy drink.
Well, blessed, after hearing that you could get a UTI, would you try that Pussy energy drink anymore? Yeah, you probably don't want to drink. I know, bud. I know. Don't drink that. But again, going back to the malt beverages that we were talking about earlier, and things claiming to be malt beverages, how much do you remember about Four Loko? If at all, how much? Like, I barely remember anything about Four Loko, and it's mostly because I drink them quite often.
Do you recall? You know what I drank? Do you recall what I told? Do you recall me having a reaction to someone mentioning the brand name?
I think if I vaguely remember, I think you said you felt drunk after hearing about it.
Yeah, it was Tilt. It was an energy. It was an alcoholic energy drink, much like this. Yeah, it was called Tilt, and I can picture. It was green. The fluid was green. It was in a silver can with a green tea on it. It looked like Monster Energy. It was poison. It tasted like garbage water dump. It tasted like the fucking dump. I drank so much of it. It blew you in half and kept you up all night so you could menace the population drunkenly. Terrible.
Oh man.
Tilt, whoever invented Tilt should be in jail.
Well, and a lot of people felt the same way about Four Loko.
Are they in jail?
No, but here's a little bit of backstory about them. So this famous party drink was created by a group of frat brothers from Ohio State University. Not a big surprise there. They were brothers in the Kappa Sigma fraternity, and this drink was initially a recipe from the house that they would use for their basement parties. And Yeah, apparently they've had
That
that
sounds
for a
correct.
minute.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, the first recipe. That's an American looking. Oh yeah, dude, it's some American shit.
With
And
the fucking stripes are camouflage.
if you can't sell it, put camo on it.
Oh
And
man.
again, the biggest marketing strategy that is consistent with a lot of these like food products in this little museum is that a lot of them turn to camo to try and sell their product, which is hilarious. Um, so the first recipe was initially um, consisted of different flavorings and alcohols, but particularly contained taurine, guarana, caffeine, and wormwood. You know what wormwood
What?
is? Wormwood,
Yeah.
the green fairy
Yeah,
stuff
it's
that's
the
in
green stuff, yeah.
the green fairy stuff in absinthe, man. So this stuff fucks you up. I mean, just right off the bat. but the drink line became a like again these frat brothers kind of got together and they made it into a big product line, and it became a major success among college house parties. I guarantee anybody that's in chat right now that has ever been to any college house party, they've seen at least one passed out person with like Four Loko in their hand. Well, at least in America. I don't know what it is for Canada, but in America, any house party that I went to, somebody always had a Four Loko.
That can is 14% alcohol by volume. Look at that.
Oh, I didn't even read that. Are you serious? 14%?
That's what it says.
Jesus fuck.
There's no way it's 1.4, so it must be 14.
It was also very lovingly coined.
I am
Blackout
not,
in a
like when
can.
I say it, black what? Blackout in a can.
Yeah, it was blackout.
When I'm saying it tasted like poison, I'm not. It tasted like garbage water. It tasted like
it
rotting,
was awful.
fetid.
Like
Nothing
who thought
could
that
save
this
it.
was good? Like
Whatever sweet fruit juice flavoring they tried to put in it to save it just made the garbage flavor worse.
Seriously, I would have taken
Poison.
a day old
I
PBR
feel drunk.
40.
I feel drunk right now.
Should I cut away from it and we'll keep discussing it?
That's okay. I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
It's like so gross. I can just picture how gross. Like sitting around on a hot summer day. I can taste this shit. Drinking Four Locos.
It's like that fake fruit flavoring along with whatever the malt beverage was. Like, it was all terrible. But again, the line grew to massive success in like 2008. A lot of people started going to town on these, but by 2010, the drink was in a lot of trouble, and it was mostly due to the amount of basically dangerous blackouts that a lot of people had from drinking these Four Locos. The company was given like a litany of lawsuits, like claiming dangers about the amount of caffeine, taurine, and guarana that they used in their product. And so it was around 2010 that the company
caffeine and booze.
around 2010 the company just said screw it, we're tired with the lawsuits, we're taking the caffeine and all the energy giving aspects of the drink out. And that is why, although it is it was considered a massive success back in 2008, that is why today it is not as big as it used to be. Is because it doesn't have all the little special ingredients in there. But yeah, Four Loko
now it's just seltzer water with vodka, like I said. My unifying theory of all booze is just water and vodka.
It's like half alcohol of some sort, and then the other half is just sewer water. As it pertains to
that's what Four Loko is. You ever hear of Juice? Joose?
I've had that once, I believe.
Yeah,
I think
same kind of stuff. Oh,
terrible.
Juice. Ooh, garbage water. Really, just tasted like sewage.
Absolutely. So we'll move on from that. We'll talk about a more lighthearted failure. And this is something.
Oh God.
Did I make it worse somehow?
I don't like purple ketchup.
Oh shit! But nobody like. Like,
Nobody liked it. It was green ketchup, weird
my
ketchup. No one wants weird ketchup.
My sister loved the hell out of this stuff. I personally, no. Like, what
Funky
the
purple easy squirts.
easy squirts. So this kid-friendly ketchup from Heinz, the Easy Squirt
Ew.
ketchup,
Ew.
was an
Well, I
innovation.
don't even know what's so gross about it. Ketchup is gross, kinda.
But it was an easy squeeze bottle, which was kind of revolutionary for Heinz ketchup because they had, like, the generic, uh, bottles where it had like a little flip top lid. This had like a little screw top, so you could basically pipe your ketchup and make little designs with it.
Ah, right. Yes, they encourage you to draw on the
encourage you
French
to draw
fries and
with
stuff. Yeah, use your childlike creativity
Indeed.
on your dinner plate.
I don't have all the colors here, but a variety of the colors that they did create was included green, purple, or mystery colored, which was either purple, teal, or orange.
Oh, orange is too close to what I imagine bad ketchup would turn.
Oh yeah.
But they all are. They all look like ketchup that something has gone wrong.
But according to a Mental Floss article that I had read, Heinz sold 25 million with an M units of ketchup. 25 million units of this Easy Squirt ketchup. The line was considered a major success, but of course, as we hear with all these stories, the success was not very long lived. The line ended up being discontinued in 2006 due to just general lack of interest and the general complaints that parents were coming home to fridges full of half-eaten ketchup bottles that were different colors. And of course, kids are fickle and they're shitheads and they don't know what they want because they're kids, and that's understandable. But of course, that was also a major issue with the marketing of this product. It was also around 2006, around that time, that there's all the concerns about childhood obesity, artificial flavoring, sugars, so on and so forth. So a lot of people kind of backed away from ketchup and condiments.
Kids ketchup,
especially kids ketchup. It was not very well received.
It's funny idea just to begin with. Ketchup for kids. We'll corner the market. No one else is marketing ketchup for kids.
Oh no, I forgot a photo.
Oh
no, that's not good. Because I had something that absolutely blew me away, and I wonder if I still have it amongst my photos here. Yeah, give me 1 second here. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, it's something that really it particularly disturbed me when I had heard that this even existed. So I don't know. So you said you had sisters. How familiar are you with like Barbie dolls and things like that? Like like the characters in the group in the Barbie universe.
I know Ken and Skipper.
Okay, so good. Then you're gonna. Well, it's probably a little bit dated at this point, but you'll probably be familiar with this particular product. Well, maybe not this particular product. But...
Yeah, did kids hate ketchup until Heinz got it into their filthy little hands? I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that.
No, you're right. That's pretty much it. But as it pertains to Skipper, we are going to be covering the 1975 released Growing
1975. Wow.
Growing Up Skipper. So.
Oh. Okay.
Oh shit! Where did I not write this shit down? Oh man,
make her grow from a young girl to a teenager in seconds.
Check this shit out, and apparently this.
Does she transform?
It's like Transformers, dude. Except it's from a child to a teenager.
Weird.
It gets even weirder, bud. So
okay.
according to I believe trusted guide of fashion dolls, fashiondollguide.com, the Growing Up Skipper doll is of course the well-known sister of Barbie. Skipper had many iterations and styles along with her sister, but this development in particular, well, this one little development of Skipper's character in particular, as well as one of her friends, Ginger, was kind of controversial. So in 1975, Mattel developed these two particularly controversial dolls, Skipper and her friend Ginger growing up dolls. These dolls, these doll sets were marketed as growing up dolls. When the left arm is rotated a full turn, the legs from like the lower half of the torso down begin to elongate, and breasts pop out of their chests. The marketing stated that it was "quote unquote" 2 dolls in one for twice as much fun. Of course, there was plenty of controversy about how
weird.
kids hated ketchup. Now now all generations hooked on it.
That's why I was asking you if it was a psyop on the part of Heinz to get kids addicted to ketchup. Yeah.
Just as this is possibly a means to tell young women that all you gotta do is like twist your arm and boobs.
Rotate your arm 360 degrees to crank those boobs out. Jesus Christ.
And what I thought was pretty profound was a lot of very interesting. I know, right? A lot of very interesting bloggers and columnists wrote articles about this. One blogger, this person named Messy Nessie, concluded basically what we were all thinking. What I would have done to see a growing up Ken doll. Because it is very apparent in this representation of coming of age as a female. They are missing one major portion to that. Well, two major portions to that. One, there's no blood. For two, that everybody just pops breasts out. Not everybody just like for bams. That's not how like puberty works. That's not how any of that works. But in another essay from a book of collective essays that I kind of peeked through, called the Barbie Chronicles. I did research on this shit.
Reading the Barbie Chronicles.
Yeah, it's these essayists write like little experiences.
Hard research watching David Cronenberg movies. He's reading the Barbie Chronicles.
I went the extra mile, damn it, and I was a GI Joe.
I'm watching men melt and.
Oh man, but in the Barbie
I'm
Chronicles,
exposing myself to James Woods.
As long as James Wood doesn't expose himself to you, I think you're all right. But in another essay, it is stated that the doll, quote unquote, slipped into production at a moment when men managed the Barbie line, and it reflected a male rendition of female coming of age. Breasts, not blood. The public backlash was swift, and the line was discontinued in 1977, although in 2006 they came out with an on-scene line, and it was basically Barbie, but it was the same thing. You click her arms and her legs elongate, and she gains breasts again. They somehow thought that we would collectively forget about this doll, and yeah, obviously we did. So line discontinued in 1977, and again leaving behind plenty of questions for a lot of young girls.
Get weird.
That's the name of the show, baby. No. Dang it! Did I not put the other one on here? I'm here I am thinking that I'm all prepared, ready to go, and I'm just blowing all of my my images today because I completely forgot to set them up properly. So, all right. So right here, we've got And for those of you who used to stay up late nights watching Mad TV and laughing at Bobby Lee and Will Sasso and having some gummy worms while sneaking gummy worms while your parents are sleeping. Those of you staying up late
Yeah.
enough to watch infomercials will remember this product. Are you familiar with this one? Does it look familiar?
I,
It looks like a
I don't
freaking
like.
medieval
I,
torture device.
I don't like that it looks familiar because it kind of does.
Yeah.
It rings. It's ringing some kind of bell.
So this is the Rejuvenique mask.
That sounds way too familiar. I
I
have
know.
definitely
I've
not
seen.
remembered this on purpose.
I remembered so many commercials about these. I remember like the kind of QVC, like the full set display commercials where they're like displaying
Oh
the
my
product.
God! Can I get one and electrocute my face, please?
well,
I really want my face to be electrocuted.
They actually don't have these anymore, and we will get to that, and I'll explain why. But
no more face electrocution.
no more face electrocution. But this spawns initially with it starts with inventor George E. Springer in 1995. The Rejuvenique mask was a 26-point electric shock mask that supposedly shocked your facial lines.
Yes, I would like
order.
one. I'll take 4. Yeah, I want some. I want my face. I would zap my face.
I want my face to be like like as non crinkly as a stiff fresh piece of paper. Yes, like that's what they were trying to market it. It was stated that it was supposed to make users look younger and healthier looking. It rejuvenated skin, and it was all from these little 26 points that connected to your face and put little shock pulses in, which you can control by the little dial right there. So
Yeah.
the Rejuvenique system provides excuse me, I'm reading the quote here. So there was a quote from Mr. George E. Springer himself, the inventor, had stated that his product, quote, "We already know the benefits of exercise for the rest of the body. The Rejuvenique system provides those same benefits for our face."
By electrocuting it.
Mm-hmm. You remember those
with electrical zaps?
Remember the electrical tummy belts? Same thing.
I sure do. Yeah, weird.
Mm-hmm. So the Rejuvenique mask was eventually picked up by famed household company Sultan and Maxim in 1999. And it was around this time that they really started pushing the advertising for this. And they got a spokeswoman. Do you happen to know who that spokeswoman was? Because it's going to blow you away. Any guess of
I don't know.
late 90s actress?
That woman Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford?
That's
no,
my
but
guess.
But you were very close. It was actually Linda Evans of Dynasty.
Oh boy. Okay, sure.
So Linda Evans was the paid spokeswoman for this product. And because of the crazy campaigns that they had for these, it was met with a lot of success. Again, despite there being no real scientific evidence proving that this product actually worked. Which,
sure.
Again, mind blower, right? Who would think that somebody would want something to actually, work, for one, for two, have the scientific evidence to prove that it actually does work. So again, even with the successes, there was no scientific evidence to prove that this product actually got rid of the wrinkles in your face. And this was covered in a July of 2000's article from the Tampa Bay Times, where it states that federal regulators in the FDA stated the mask was, quote unquote, not safe except under the supervision of a practitioner licensed by state law.
Ooh.
And that the marketing of the product was, quote, a violation of the law.
Ooh.
I know, right? Ooh.
Yeah, that's not what you
Damn.
want to hear.
No, not from the FDA.
Nope.
It's within the same article that the FDA spokeswoman Sharon Snyder stated, without FDA clearance, there's no assurance it's safe or effective. A warning letter is a very serious thing, which is what Rejuvenate got from the FDA. Another person from the same article, Dr. Deborah Jollyman, a dermatologist, stated that the product could be doing more harm than good, stating, quote, the FDA should pull it off the market until Rejuvenate substantiates their claims. And unfortunately, this product is currently, I believe it sometime in 2005, it ended up just kind of falling off the map. It didn't
Electrical zap of face mask.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that some shit? All right, and
it's almost like it would be like a Needful Things monkey paw type of situation if it wasn't like right there. If it mask that makes you young and beautiful, except right on the label by electrocuting your face. Mask that makes you young and beautiful by electrocuting your face. Here it is.
Ta-da!
Have at it, America. Have at it, 1990s America. Perfect. Perfect thing for 1990s America. You get mask that makes you young and beautiful by electrocuting your face, and we're telling you that that's what it does and selling it to you. Even though we know it does nothing.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
Again,
perfect 90s America product.
It's just like for Loko, put a camo on it and market it. I'm
Yeah,
sure
was there a camo version of this product?
No, but I have a feeling that like somebody probably remarketed this for like some oh god like a naturalist remedy for for aging somewhere, and then somewhere along the lines it became like an anti-vax statement to have one of these, and then you got the camo mask, and you can take my mask, but you can't take my freedom written somewhere on the face mask. I don't know, but anyway, so this is another very interesting product that I remember using frequently as a child. Well, not a child. I was like late.
I remember seeing a girl posted a lot of pictures of herself having sex with one of these around the time that these were popular.
You mean she just like kind of like just plooped, but popped it in?
Yeah, I think it was the brown one. Yeah, I think having sex with a Zune. Yeah, Zune Chan was
Zune
what she was called. Yeah, it's a real girl.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she did it all the time. I'm most familiar with this.
Man.
I'm most familiar with this product from having watched a girl have sex with it a lot of times.
You know what? Like, let's write that down for the next episode.
Holy
shit, Zune Chan. Oh my god, that's.
I'm just gonna see what happens if I type that in.
I probably should go on like incognito mode or something there.
Yeah, probably should have.
Right. So
there's a Twitter called that. I don't think it's her.
No.
She hasn't posted since 2010. Oh, this might have actually been her. She's posting her live Stickam streams. Yeah, this might have actually been her. Now there's no images or anything associated with the account. Anyway, that was a girl on the internet 15 years ago.
Oh my god. So the Zune was released in 2006 and was Microsoft's response to the iPod craze. Everyone that I knew had an iPod. Everybody had everybody had an iPod. Everybody had nanos and the entire I just didn't have the money for that shit. It was just not up my alley. I got a Zune instead because it was the cheaper buy, and you could store just about the same amount as you could on an iPod. The only problem was it was like bulky as shit. It was like 1.5 sizes of a pack of cards. It was huge, if not 2 packs of cards, but it was massive. But I loved that thing, and like I remember being able to put music videos on there, and there was nothing more enjoyable to me than to sit there and watch music videos, like right before a class or something. That was a mind blower for me, because like I don't even think the iPod had a similar screen, but it didn't have the, I don't know, I felt it didn't have um the means to render the picture better than the Zune, and that was another reason why I was like, pro Zune back in the day. Besides the fact that I don't know, I liked Microsoft products, so I kind of stuck with Microsoft products. I don't know, and I think you actually had to have an Apple computer at the time in order to use an iPod, didn't you?
That sounds correct. Yeah, because I don't think you were just downloading MP3s from the cloud at first. I think you
No,
had to sync it with your iTunes account.
he had to sync
Yeah,
with, yeah.
I think so. At first. I don't know when everything changed.
That's when the world changed.
Yeah, I don't know.
But as we all know, though, as much as Microsoft really wanted the Zune to be the nail in the coffin for the iPod, it most certainly wasn't. It was a it failed. It failed in comparison to the iPod in multitudes of reasons, but from sales to the software to the actual application to put music onto your program to get music onto your phone. I remember having a fuck ton of headaches trying to get music onto this thing, but when it did, it worked fantastic.
Well, good.
Yeah, it worked great.
When it worked. Yeah,
And another real big thing is that it also connected to the internet. It actually allowed you to stream stuff, which I had no idea what Wi-Fi was at that time.
Like you
So
could watch YouTube.
you could watch like YouTube, but they had like streaming services where you could like go onto the Zune
Oh,
marketplace and buy things and play things from there, or buy things from there.
okay.
Um.
Zune Marketplace, sure.
Oh yeah. But yeah, with the bulky size, the lack of real progressive technology, the range of unattractive colors, despite the fact I like the candy apple setup. It looked nice.
Is
But
that what the brown one is? Candy apple?
yeah, because it had a brown outer face
With
and
that
then
green
the other green.
sheen. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah, I kind of like that. But
Okay.
it was discontinued in 2012, and the support for the product ended in 2015. I mean,
2015. I mean, I guess they do, a product like that does kind of stick around.
oh yeah.
Someone had one. Someone was rocking one in 2015.
I guarantee it. Like like times is hard, and sometimes you don't have the money for Apple products.
That's right. Sometimes you got to get the Zune.
So we have an iPod at home, and it turns out to be a Zune.
That's right. Exactly.
Let's see if I can find the picture here, because once again I'm a goofball. Good enough. All right, so the next thing that we're going to cover here, and this guy looks freaking phenomenal. I'm glad that I found this picture. It's like the first picture I could find on the fly. We have the Google Glass.
Oh man, yeah. I kind of still would like to have a Google Glass.
Honestly, like conceptually, like we all wanted to be like Geordie fucking LaForge, dude. Like everybody.
I
wants
want a
to have
heads-up display. Give
Yeah.
me my heads-up display right now. I can't believe I don't have one yet. I can't believe I need to use one of my hands to take a photograph. What fucking year is it?
I should just blink
I
and be
can't
able
believe
to
I
take
need devices. Yeah, seriously.
I should just think it and it just happens. But again, Google gave a lot of potential to this whole concept. Like the company, the unfortunate thing is that as it pertained to the Google Glass, it rolled out way, way, way before like any real development could be done for this product. It was more just a like cool gadget bro thing.
Yeah, it did seem that way.
Mm, let's see here. The company just basically wished to gain like notoriety and profit for the sake of notoriety, like just for the sake of, yeah, we make cool products and give us money instead of like actually creating like long-lasting products that actually meet the needs of everyday life or help the needs of the consumers. Like it basically ended up just being like it looked cool.
Yeah.
And
That's sort of, I mean, that's, that's Silicon Valley.
Oh yes.
Kind of,
Um,
that old chestnut.
What was it? So Dr. Samuel West of the Museum of Failure stated in a WAPO interview that the problem was Google released it too early. And this is a quote. The problem was Google released it too early. It was still a prototype and it was so full of bugs. And again, like all it took was just taking the simple note of what do people need? What is going
Heads up display.
Yeah, heads up display with a camera that the government can constantly peek into. It has that.
Oh boy,
Not
oh
like
boy,
we're
yeah,
already
that's what we
dealing
need.
with one now. Hey, FBI agent, you enjoying the show? Cool. But it is what what I would basically compare to the modern day version of this other wonderful failed product from our childhood, the Virtual Boy.
Oh man, that thing was terrible.
The Virtual Boy. I had a very opulent neighbor that had.
Okay, sure, me too.
Yeah, that just so happened to get every cool thing that was in the Toys R Us catalog for Christmas every single year. He had one of these, and we're hanging out one day. I'm like, oh man, is that a Virtual Boy? He goes, yeah, this kind of sucks. I'm like, well, dude, like, let me see. It's like, is it like real virtual reality? Like, oh man, that's so cool. He had the tennis game in the Mario tennis game.
Yeah, sure.
Not only did I feel sick playing it, but I had the worst headache afterwards. I've
heard. I've heard.
It doesn't even look good. Like the farthest from looking good.
It's hard to focus on. It's really insane in there. It's terrible. I can't believe they released it.
Hurt my eyes so bad. But the Virtual Boy was released in 1995, and despite the console claiming 3D experiences, the Virtual Boy was not virtual reality, nor was it a 3D experience. And gave and again, like as I stated, gave most people who had one headaches from the screen display. And again, I'm glad that as much as I begged and pleaded my folks to have a Virtual Boy, that they said no. I'm very glad.
This wasn't a good no.
This was not a good investment for any young person. But again, and this is coming off of like all the successes of the Super Nintendo, all the little accoutrements that came with that, like including I had the little bazooka blaster too.
The Super Scope, yeah.
The Super Scope. I played the Yoshi game. That thing couldn't tell where it was firing whatsoever. That was the biggest bunk buy ever.
Bazooka. Instead of the Super Nintendo doesn't have a normal light pistol. It's got a fucking shoulder-mounted RPG.
And you have to like tap it like this is like uncomfortable. I'm not gonna be sitting here for hours like this.
Yeah, it had a weird.
Good.
You had to tap a weird button on your shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if that's how you fire a bazooka, but
no. Usually the bazooka has a trigger right here, or depending on how you hold down.
It was, yeah, and there was not exactly a trigger, but there was a weird button in the. It was like playing.
It was a blue button. It was like a backwards flute, weird. But there's no. Yeah, you weren't putting it up to play it. But again, like Nintendo was like one of the highest selling like console manufacturers in the world at that time, and they go and do this.
Yeah, they did some weird stuff.
And I mean, this was basically in like in response to how Sega was doing like the 32X stuff, and they're expanding their consoles and things like that. Like, yeah, Nintendo just really screwed the pooch on this one.
I feel like Nintendo always survives because they always figure out how to not spend any money on whatever they're doing anyway. And also these days they always survive because they have Pokemon.
It's the only reason they survive. Is the only reason
I think Pokemon saved their asses around the turn of the century. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it would have been. Yeah, it's the only reason why that company is still moving. That and Zelda. Zelda has been like the recent like Pokemon like savior game for Nintendo. Because they just don't like they don't like listening to their consumers, which is ridiculous to me.
Very famously, they don't like doing that.
Like them and PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation, you see me. I'm using your shit all the time, but fuck you. But
you're mad at Sony?
Oh, so Sony and I have had some contemptuous discussions, but
okay.
We're more like we'll go for a light brunch once, maybe twice every 6 years. I don't know. I'm trying to think about a bad friend that you don't talk to, but yeah, it I don't know. I've got my beef with Sony in particular parts, mostly due to the fact that I have to stream on console, and console streaming sucks. Not a fun time. But anyway, no, taking my notes here. So, Virtual Boy was definitely a huge flop. It was discontinued the following year, 1996, only releasing 22 games for the console. And again, gives headaches to everybody to this day.
Yeah. Headache machine.
The ultimate headache machine. Oh, yes. And this will be our final stop on today's tour of the Museum of Failures. Probably one of, I personally believe, one of the biggest modern failures of design, production, and marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Segway.
Oh, yeah. It was supposed to change the world.
Mm-hmm.
The inventor drove off a cliff on it.
You know what? You beat me to it, but yes, I was gonna cover like all. What's great is that not everybody knows that, and not everybody knows all the other famous people that actually ate shit on these things. Notably among those, Pierce Morgan, who broke 3 ribs, and probably the biggest of them all was former President George W. Bush. Ate it.
Really?
On a vacation. He ate it on a Segway.
Was he injured?
No, it was just like minor scrapes and bruises, but like the picture of him like, tucking and rolling as he's like eating it off the handlebars, fantastic.
Oh my god.
So and again, most of the stuff about the Segway here I got from a article from Wired magazine. So the Segway
was this thing?
I'm sorry? I know, right?
I said, what the hell was this thing? It was so important. People seem to think it was a very big deal.
Like there's a reason why Paul Blart Mall Cop is on one of those things. Like,
Right, because it's just perfect.
it's perfect comedy gold. But the Segway was unveiled on Good Morning America back in 2001.
It's the Paul Blart of transportation.
It's the Paul Blart of transportation. Yes.
Yes.
But
a metaphor on every level.
Dude, so back in 2001, how much do you think one of these went for?
$1,500. $15,000.
Not that much, but $5,000.
$5,000 is a lot.
It's the price of most.
That's a lot
cars.
for this thing.
I know.
Sure,
right?
Yeah, you could have a car for that. Yeah. In 2001, you could definitely have a car for that for sure.
Easily, very easily. Like in a car that's not far off from the contemporary age. Like it's a mind blower. But again, this was like supposed to be like modernizing movement in the future. It's going to be this grand piece of transportation that we're going to use for ages to come. We're going to look like the fucking Jetsons using these fucking things.
Yeah. That was the future is here.
That
was the
tagline for the.
I don't know, no, but that was the vibe.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they wanted us to feel about this thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so the research and development of the Segway scooter was upwards of $100 million. $100 million for research and development. It's insane.
Wow. Yeah, for sure. That's insane.
One of the big issues when it pertained to these vehicles was that a lot of police didn't necessarily know how to enforce the laws on these, on these new vehicles.
Yeah, is this a motor vehicle? Is it just a little scooter you're scooting around on?
Mm-hmm. Can you ride it on the sidewalk or can you ride it in the street?
Yeah.
From the Wired News article from 2015, one of the first purchasers of the device stated, quote, "The police didn't know what to do with it," stating on one block an officer would stay on the sidewalk, would tell him to stay on the sidewalk. Excuse me. While on another block, he'd be told by an officer to stay on the street. So there was no actual clear-cut regulation of the driving of these, particular vehicles. What was even worse is the complete misconception that all buildings in major urban areas have access to elevators. More often than not, you're going to be eating it on the stairs.
Oh boy. Yeah, what the hell are you going to do?
And that was a major issue for a lot of people in New York, where this was like the big rollout there, was all these Segways. But more often than not, people would have to go upstairs. And obviously, you're not going to leave a Segway out in the middle of New York.
Your $5,000 scooter on the streets of New York.
These things, when they were first released, weighed 100 pounds. So I've lived in an apartment at like the 5th floor, and I've lived in upper flats and things. Getting shit up the stairs sucks. I can't imagine.
100 pounds is a lot.
100 pounds is a lot. Carrying a 100-pound wheeled vehicle up the goddamn stairs while you're pulling it up by the handles, having it go every which way. Like, it just sounds like the worst time ever. But again, with the awkward turning radius and the terrible acceleration controls, a lot of people, had a lot of problems with maintaining balance on these things, and thus ended up dealing with a lot of injuries, and there in turn a whole lot of lawsuits. And again, as we stated, whole bunch of famous people ate shit on these things, including, as you said before, the owner of the Segway Corporation, who was killed after he accidentally steered his Segway the wrong way and fell to his death off of a 30-foot cliff into a river.
God damn it, dude.
I know.
You're not doing anything for your brand's reputation, buddy. That's not,
Yeah, I
you're
don't know
not doing it.
how
That
you,
ain't it.
how you're supposed to care about brand representation when you're 6 feet under, dude. You're 30 feet off a cliff and 6 feet under.
Boy, not
Like,
that funny.
no, it's not. It's not. The irony
Oh,
is funny.
he wasn't the inventor. He was the owner of the company, or
He
is
was
that
one.
the same person?
He was an owner in the company. But again, the irony I personally find to be hilarious because more often than not, this guy was probably like, oh, like, all these, injury lawsuits are
completely
fucking
safe. Look how safe it is.
So again, like the irony to me is funny. People dying isn't funny, but god damn, that is some beautiful irony there. Especially as it pertains to like an owner of a major corporation eating shit from their own product. It's like I don't know. That's almost like the governor in fucking East was it West Palestine, Ohio? Sitting there, drinking
Jesus
the water.
Christ.
Like,
No way.
just like a little bit to the side, doesn't actually like drink it. Like, infuriates me. And then what? And fucking infuriates me more.
Really? Like faking it?
He faked it. He didn't actually drink the fucking water. That little
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
turd didn't take
I
a
mean,
sip of that fucking water.
he shouldn't have been drinking it.
Well,
But
again, it proves that he's making
Right.
all the undesirables drink the fucking water. And again, I'm a cat from Michigan. Flint probably still doesn't have clean fucking water. They might, but I might have to go double check on that. But as far as I'm concerned, there's still plenty of other like smaller cities that don't have access to clean water anymore or have contaminated water sources. I mean, look at what happened in wait, there was that other that latex explosion in Pennsylvania. Did you hear about that?
I don't think I heard about a latex explosion.
Yeah, there was like a latex pump explosion in Pennsylvania, and I believe it was
Jesus.
in Philadelphia. They actually it might have been it might have been in one of the rivers around Philadelphia, but it was the Delaware River. They said that that people should not be drinking the water out from Philadelphia because of all of the toxins that ended up from that latex explosion ended up in the river. So once again,
Yeah.
yeah,
Terrific.
it's fucking wonderful. We live in marvelous times, don't we? But again,
Dr. Atkins?
I'm familiar with who the guy is, but I don't think I've ever read anything he wrote. Although my father claims up and down that he lost so much weight from Atkins and the keto diets and shit.
I heard that Atkins lost so much weight he dropped dead from it.
And I don't know if it would be too gory to cover on the show, but one of these days I want to talk to you. There's a cult group known as the Breatharians, where they believe.
Oh, sure.
You know the Breatharians? Are you familiar?
I feel like there's no way this could be a real thing that actually happened. I feel like this is something
It's real.
My friend told me to see if I would believe it.
It's fucking real, dude. It's fucking.
Okay.
This is a real thing.
I've heard about it.
So for those unfamiliar,
no, but do they drink like lemon juice or something or nothing?
No, they only drink straight water. They drink straight water and they get all of their nutrients, quote unquote, from the sun. They basically.
Any celebrities?
Like, not that I'm aware of, but
Okay.
there's like
okay.
Oh, what was it? Knights of Sidonia? Did you ever see that Netflix show?
Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
It was like a mech show where people in the future are genetically crossed with plants, so they don't actually have to eat, but they can absorb.
Anime show?
It was an anime, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, it's really good if you ever get around to it.
It's not Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
No, I don't believe so.
That was an anime from My childhood where people were plants.
What anime was that?
Jace and the Wheeled Warriors.
I've never heard of that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that's a real deep cut.
That's a deep fucking
I,
cut.
I could put together. Yeah, there are some things. I know that I've looked that up at some point. There's definitely some shows that I kind of vaguely remember that like I may have made up. I know I've like confirmed. I've like seen an episode of Jason the Wheeled Warriors like as an adult. I went back and looked for it, but yeah, that's an old one.
Dude. But
Oh, the Breatharians
yes,
watched
yes.
a Netflix show. The Netflix show taught them how to breathe photosynthesis.
Well, the Netflix show didn't teach them that. It was just something that they've been doing for however long. But yeah, they basically believe that they gain all their nutrients from the sun. I'm trying to remember who the person was that I had seen. There was I think it might have been Atrocity Guide, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Atrocity Guides usually, I don't know, they're pretty wonderful about putting their stuff together. It's actually how I found out about Shinobi. I always get that wrong. Is it Shinobi? The Japanese man who was put on a game show. The guy that
Oh,
was
the
locked in
eggplant
the
guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like I have at least. I feel like I probably binged Atrocity Guide at some point, at
Shinobu.
some cold winter years ago, something like that.
It's Shinobu, not Shinobi. What the fuck? Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that and again, as of right now, I believe the Museum of Failure is maintaining its tenure in Brooklyn, New York.
That's fucking cool. That's funny.
Again, according to PIX11, they said that tickets are starting somewhere at like $20, and then like kids are free under 12 or something like that. Go check it out. It's super fascinating, and some of the stuff that we covered here is included there, but there's just millions and millions of other products that you can go and interact with, learn about. One of them was like, do you remember like the hula desk chair, the one that when you sat on it, it would like move your hips in a clockwise or counterclockwise motion?
They
That's
must have
included.
collapsed.
They totally collapsed because they were
They
like,
must have collapsed instantly. They must have. You could just tell they were gonna. You could tell they were made out of shit from watching the infomercial.
oh god, what was it? I believe it. I could be misquoting, but I believe it was Mercedes-Benz. I believe it was some sort of car company made a bicycle in Europe that was completely made out of plastic. And it failed miserably. It fell apart.
Did people crush it? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's been the museum failures, man.
That's been the failures. Awesome failures.
Awesome, good failing stuff.
Yeah, I like it. I'm into
it. Again, very very weird things, but like I don't know. I again, like there's some catharsis to, noting that other people have failed more spectacularly than you, and that you're not the only one that has done it.
Yeah, I think the wall is a really fun idea.
Yeah, I think that's a really great
seeing how many other people have failed at their.
Mm-hmm.
How many people you've never even heard of that also have failed something just as important as the things you failed at.
Agreed. But yeah, so what do you think? Did you enjoy the marvelous Museum of Failure?
Yeah, very nice.
Very good.
Very nice. I liked all of those inventions because of their failures.
But we will no longer talk about Fort Loko.
I'll never look at a Zune
the same way
and not have dirty thoughts. I've never looked at a Zune without having dirty thoughts about it.
That is probably the most petrifying
The
thing
first time I saw a Zune, half of it was inside of a person's body.
Terrible, but hilarious.
Amazing, as far as I can tell, quite terrific.
I would choose a different A word. Astonishing, I think would be that word.
Astonishing, yeah, sure.
And awkward and astronomically unsettling. No, but yeah, dude. Like, again, this has been a nice little walk down memory lane because again, a lot of folks have, grown up with these products. Some people have seen these products, and
yeah, Crystal Pepsi was wacky. So was Four Loko.
I remember those half-empty bottles of Heinz Easy Squirt ketchup, all of them purple. Yep. Agreed. Yeah, I think that was it for today, bud. Like that was the Museum of Failures. Make sure to go check them out. Yeah, again, they started their new tenure in Brooklyn on the 23rd, so they haven't been there that long, and they're usually there for a couple of years, and then they just kind of disappear and go to another major city. So yeah, get your tickets, go check it out if you're in the New York area. But yeah, I think that was today's episode. But again,
good job, thank you.
Appreciate you come with me to Brooklyn to go.
Yeah, all right.
See all the failures. Yeah, this has been rad.
In this long, spacious museum hall, we've been watching the giant television in.
Because that's how museums work, right? You pave paradise and then you put up a giant television.
That's what you do. Yeah, put up a TV screen.
Take all the failures and put them in a failure museum, and they charge other people $20 and a half just to see them.
That's right.
Yeah, but I ain't no Counting Crow though. Was it the Counting Crows?
No.
Ooh, good question.
Well, Counting Crows may have very well. Many people have done that song.
Okay, no, it was Mr. Yeah, it was Counting Crows did the cover of. It was like a Joni Mitchell song, was it?
Yes. Okay, that sounds. Yeah, I like that. That sounds alright. Yeah.
Put up a parking lot. Joni Mitchell, I was right. Cool.
There you go. I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm proud. Actually, and Amy Grant did a cover of it, or was Amy Grant the original? Yeah. But yeah, I again, fantastic song. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, gang. Thank you all so much for coming out. T1BG, big shout outs. Thank you so much for coming by. Blessed Plays, thanks for coming by.
Talk to everyone this weekend. We'll be doing stuff.
We'll be hanging out and watching goofy shit, whether it be Game of Satu, Machu Picchu, or what did you have going on? What was it again?
I've got a couple of Cronenbergs. Infinity. I'm supposed to watch Infinity Pool. I might rewatch Crimes of the Future if people are interested in, and I've also got the Vampire the Masquerade show that I want to at least get some people to look at, because I don't know. I'm supposed to. These are all things that I'm supposed to watch for homework. So,
well, yeah, dude, let's check it all out. We'll make a weekend of it. I just need to go get more weed, but
great,
yeah, gang. This has
good thing to do.
It's always a good thing to do. This has been Thought That Was Weird. We're here every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's correct.
Yes, CuyaDK. Thank you so much again for joining, and for dealing with me chatting about goofy failures within modern society. But,
good job this week.
Yeah, thanks, bud. All right, gang. Have a good one. We'll see y'all next week. Take care.